Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Polestar, it's going to be a game between Effort and a player named aaaa, as you can see up there. Bottom right of Polestar, it's a Zarzurg player. Effort, top left, it is our dude aaaa. So, whatever the heck aaaa means, we're going to call him I think. And if that gets annoying, I'll just call him A, I suppose. So it's an Effort TVZ, man. A's got his work cut out for him, dude. So a TVZ for you today here on Polestar. Good map for a TVZ, in my opinion. We've got ourselves an Overlord scouting out. Not looking for proxies, just checking to make sure if there's Terran in the bottom left corner. Just, you know, flip of the coin. Bottom left or top right. Cross spawn means you get killed by Marines, so that's not a good idea. And Steve the SCV is moving out. Throwing down a supply depot here. And then a barracks at the choke to his natural base. Everything is A-OK here as well. Just standard stuff when you're up against a Zerg player. You can wall off against early pools. You can go ahead and expand if it's not an early pool. And then wall off against slings. And everything is very safe and secure with this build that is producing right now. We got ourselves a hatch. Ooh, is this a 9 hatch? Okay, Effort. I like it. Mixing it up just a little bit here. 9 hatch. And then maybe in an extractor and then a pool for early gas. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Effort's plans are here today. Barracks coming up. Steve the SCV scouting. Saying, boy, I sure hope there are not already lings on the way to my base here, because that would be super, super weird and super hard to hold off. But again, this is easy to wall off here, so maybe not. We've got a pool down. We have no extractor here. We've got an Overlord. And look at this. Steve the SCV says, Overlord going that way. Pfft, no Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner. Are we going to scout cross spawn because of the short rush distance? Yeah, we are. So scouting cross spawn because the rush distance from the top right and the bottom left are shorter than the cross spawn here. Oh, never mind. Look at this. He did scout cross spawn from where he spawned. I'm going to say spawn again just because I feel like it. All right. So look, we've got a pool. We've got an extractor just getting saturated here. And we have just about enough minerals for a third hatch. Where, though? Where would this third hatch go? Right here, I feel like. Maybe up here? In that spawn location? We've got marine production starting. We have no gas. So this is not going to be a factory build here. But if you want to see mech versus a Zerg player, man, I posted an epic game last week between Soma and Royal on Eclipse. Holy smokes. Yeah, you want to see mech, you want to see a ton of tanks, you want to see a ton of Goliaths, you want to see Spider Mines against one of the best Soma Zerg players in the world. Go check it out, man. If you want a link to it, let me know. I'll put it in the description. I'll respond to your comment with a comment about that game and how you can get to it. Engineering Bay coming in. That's going to be a +1 timing. That is not just going to be for Mutalisks. That Engineering Bay is too early for that. And yeah, well, I got you for a second before things get too crazy. Got a quick plug out there for Instagram. Are you on Instagram? You want a little StarCraft in your feed every once in a while from Falcon Paladin? Follow me at instagram.com/falcon.paladin. I'm trying to contact Instagram and get the Falcon Paladin handle away from this dude who hasn't used it in like 5 years. I think he's abandoned it. So maybe I can get that. That'd be cool. But regardless, for now, it's falcon.paladin. I post Brood War stuff out there once a day. That's it. So I'm not overwhelming you with Brood War content. Just give it a follow, say hello, see what I'm up to. It's a very, very fun place to be. All right, Lings, what do we got, man? We're just parked outside here, having a wonderful old time. Whew, a little sniffly today, which is weird because it's the gosh darn middle, it's the gosh darn middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. And, people don't usually get colds when it's 90 degrees every day. Like, there's just something about the cold weather that kind of inhibits people's immune systems. Heat does not inhibit the immune system of human beings for some reason, which is why I kind of prefer summer over winter. I feel more motivated in the summer, and you don't get sick as much in the summer, and I get it. It's really hot, and it's very uncomfortable. And yes, you can only take off so many layers when it's hot versus when it's cold. You can put on layers. I get it, I get it. I'm just saying, that's why I prefer summer. Multiple racks coming in. Spire coming in. Got ourselves a range upgrade for the Marines on the way too, so this is not going to be mech, as we sussed out earlier. Quick scan, checks to make sure it is a Spire. Third base comes in 6 o'clock here on Polestar. Going to have to defend this thing with mutas, which Effort is extremely capable of doing. He does have this third hatch inside, well, I guess it is the third hatch right inside the main, a macro hatch inside the main base. So, he's got a +1 flyer attack coming in. The Spire finishes, and he goes, I guess I'll make 4 mutas. But a +1 flyer means he's going to make way more than that. So, going to be a lot of mutalisks here. We'll see how aaaa actually handles it. Yeah, is he going to lose too much? Is he going to put him behind the 8-ball for the rest of the game? Is he going to handle it losing only a couple SCVs? Because with this kind of an opening with Effort, there's just no way you don't lose at least 2 SCVs. It's impossible for mutas in the hands of an elite Zerg player like this to not kill any workers at all. It just is incredibly annoying, right? Incredibly annoying. But it's the nature of the beast. You just keep making SCVs. You keep your economy rocking as much as you can. And then eventually you have the tools to deal with the mutalisks pretty effectively. Or you move out on the map and force them to deal with you that way. Double scan, sees the mutas, sees more mutas, says, oh, lots of mutalisks, eh? Well, I've got 4 turrets. Yeah. Remember when I was like, you can't not lose 2 SCVs to this kind of an opening? Well, so far he's lost 0. I mean, I'd be incredibly impressed by aaaa, but he did seem to react properly to this opening and got up 4 turrets into the natural base. That's not something mutas want to engage into. He's got a couple turrets in the main, so maybe that's the better option here. And look at this. He's got a ton of Marines out. So yeah, this is an amateur Korean Terran player. Don't know who he is. He doesn't have a Brood War Wikipedia page. He's, you know, running at 450 APM at 7 minutes against Effort. He hasn't taken any damage, whatsoever from the Muta Harass on his SCV count. He's killing Marines. But, okay, I mean, he's killing mutas, but also losing Marines in the process. Nice little flank, dude. This could not have gone worse for Effort. I don't think he can wipe out that group. Not with this group of 5 relatively injured mutalisks. Oh, wow. All right, factory coming in. That's not going to be for a mech transition, though. It's going to be for a starport. Absolutely more scans. He sees absolutely nothing at the front here whatsoever to stop him from walking in. There are no lurkers. There are no sunkens. Dude, come on, this group with Lings and Mutas probably gonna die. Yeah, he just kills the medic so the Marines are easier to kill, but then they charge down into the third. No! What do we always say? If a Zerg player loses the third base, they lose the TVZ pretty much every time. He's like, we got to kill the mutas, but we also kind of want to try to kill the hatchery, but never mind. Responding mutalisks and Lings coming in, wipe it out, but my goodness. Good drone control there, getting them out of there as well. Lings flooding in unnecessarily. Might try to bust the front here for aaaa, but that was extremely scary. But I mean, the hatchery lost maybe 200 hit points in the process. Not something I should be all that terrified of, right? Right. Queen's Nest coming in back home. Double starport. For what do you think? Do we think Valkyries, maybe? Do we have an armory? We're going to hold that thought because Lings and Mutas are charging into the main base. And once the Lings are dead, the Mutas don't really want to get in there anymore. Yeah, the Lings are gone. It's like when the Zealots die and a Zealot Dragoon attack on Terran. If the Zealots are gone, the Dragoons go home. If the Lings are gone, the Mutas also go home. I don't see an armory. So no, it's not going to be Valks. More scanning, dude. He's like, you still don't have any Sunkens or Lurkers out here. I mean, that's a creep colony. Congratulations. First creep colony at 9:30. But he's going for a hive. He's trying to save the money that he would otherwise spend on drones. Well, that he'd otherwise spend on Sunkens. He's trying to get drones instead. Remember when I was like, it's impossible to not take at least a couple SCV kills? And then aaaa was like, mean, he's getting lurkers, right? Now he's morphing lurkers in. Mutas. This is more of a scouting trip than anything else. Hey, you got an SCV. He's gonna get there. You go. Like I said, you can't lose 0 SCVs if Effort's got a +1 Mutalisk opening coming for you. I mean, they're all in a lot of trouble. Look at how that injury color comes through. Pops right out there, doesn't it? Lurkers, Sunkens at the 3rd base. The natural base has lurkers there too. Can't bust through it without a Radiate, and a Radiate is on the way. Marines, +1/+1. Medics have that armor too because they share the upgrades, the high finishes. I don't know why he's got drones way on the backside of this mineral line, but it seems like a bad idea. Adrenals getting kicked up. Big fan of that. Overlord sniped. There's the Defiler Mound. Okay, so Adrenal comes in before the Defiler Mound, before we get an Ultralisk Cavern or anything. Just 3 base in it. Lurker sunken. Defend, 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 defend. Keep the Mutalisks around. Couple Scourge. Never mind. There were a couple Scourge to deal with the Science Vessels, but they're dead now. And yeah, once Arenal's done, once Consume is done, what do we say about it? That's when the game changes. That's it. That's all we got to see, man. So let's see how Effort does here. Again, he's pretty confident. He didn't get as much economical damage as I think he wanted. But, I mean, if your goal is just to kind of distract the enemy in time to get out your tools, to get the Lurkers, to get the Sunkens, to get the Dark Swarm, then you're okay. You didn't necessarily have to kill the economy of the Terran all that much. You can just kind of keep the Terran on the other side of the map, and then when they show up and there's Dark Swarm, then the Terran's very upset about that. Which is what this is. So SK Terran, man, we're getting up to a point where SK Terran has a very hard time dealing with Zerg. Unless, right? There's an unless here. Unless, what? Right? Drops come in. Look at that. Irradiate on the Mutalisk, and then he wanders a Sloverlord in. So you have to irradiate that too before you start irradiating the Lurkers. Ugh. This is so annoying to deal with. He's got a 3rd base coming up back home. The Scourge dance is pretty intense here. I mean, seems to be controlling the Science Vessels pretty effectively. Consume is done. Alert, alert, Consume is done. Plague is immediately getting fired up here at 13 minutes. And I think Effort's going to be just fine. This 3rd base is kind of aggressive. A counterattack of Lings might be able to ruin that thing, but he's got little dudes watching for counterattacks, right? Especially up this direction. He wants to make sure Lings can't slip by him. Hydras for Lurkers. Dark Swarm on the Lurkers. Scourge hunting for Science Vessels they can pick off that are kind of joining the party, but no. And then the Nidus allows Defilers to get to the 3rd base at a moment's notice, and this, yeah, we've seen this. This is so annoying to deal with, but it's really the only thing that keeps the Zerg alive against SK Terran. If they didn't have Dark Swarm, if they didn't have access to Lurkers, then yeah, SK Terran would beat everything that Zerg had. Everything. Easily. So the Zerg player has it, and it's really good, but I mean, it's just doing what it's supposed to do. Irradiates on Hydras. So is it Hydra meta? I thought these Hydras are just going to be Lurkers, but I don't know. Oh, there you go. Scourge down. If you're a Scourge and you're holding still in a position where there aren't Marines to cover you, you're probably going to die. The Lurker eggs. Yeah, because then the Marines charging in here have to go past the Lurker eggs and they catch irradiate damage. Artosis hates this, by the way. He hates that Lurker eggs can be used in this method. Defiler gets irradiated. Scourge. No connections, but Spore gets a couple hits off. Hydras jump in. It is Hydra meta. Hydras inside the Dark Swarm against Marines are fan-friggin-tastic. We need our fire bats. He needs to start adding siege tanks to the mix, which is what he's he's not doing it, guys. Okay, Metasynaptic node coming in. If he... we need to see fire bats in the production tab, or we need to see tanks in the production tab. Plague-o! Massive plague. And this is just where things get really bad for us. Second plague as the irradiated filer dies. Now these guys don't want to engage with anything, especially not a bunch of cracklings running in. Alright, so the Plague Marines pop, 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 pop. Once you pop, you just can't stop. It's an old advertising campaign for Pringles back in the 90s that I remember because I'm old and because advertising campaigns are really good at doing that. These hiders all die. Plague does catch a lot of the science vessels. And again, the hiders outside of the Dark Storm don't want to engage with this at all, man. Dude, consume a hydra and just toss down something. Consume a thing. Alright, the Defiler dies. Ooh, I like the fourth base coming up here from aaaa, but the production tab, there it is. There's the tank. Okay, so he had the factories to build tanks. He just needed to start building tanks. He's like, okay, this dude is committing. He is committing to hydras. I'm going to want siege tanks. I'm going to need siege tanks more than anything else. Science vessel, science vessel. More and more science vessels, tanks being added in. This is something we do in reaction to the Hydra meta. We don't just do it for fun. Siege mode coming in. Fourth base here. Technically no fourth gas. This Marine's making sure this base is not easy to take. Muta's scout in, see the tanks. Great scout. Recognizing the tanks. Sees what we're dealing with here. Tries to kind of run into 3 lurkers, but... I mean, 5 lurkers? My apologies. Maybe he thought they were 3 lurkers, too. Brutal, brutal lurker spines there. Big, big friggin' deals. Little idle SCV up here. Could be building. I'm just... Yeah, this game's just at a stalemate until the tanks start making it out here, right? The tanks don't quite have siege. No, they have siege mode yet. They could start coming if they wanted, but unless they're out on the field, I don't feel anything about this game. There we go. Now aaaa has some of the tools he needs to deal with the tools that Effort has decided to invest in, which are, again, 2/2 hydras with range and speed. So Darkstorm Lurker shows up. No tanks here. Just irradiate what you can. Catch a plague and hope you don't get killed by a Mutalisk at some point. Tanks leading the charge in. Lings see the positioning here. So Nidus needs to start ejecting some units. Oh my gosh. Or just, you know, plaguing the tanks is always a good thing. Consume, consume. Plague again. Second one. Oh my gosh. These tanks. No, they're plagued. Oh no, all the tanks died. Oh, buddy. Okay, now the irradiated science vessels kind of have to run. These guys were attacking into the natural base. That didn't work out for them in the long term, did it? It didn't. Look, the only saving grace right now from aaaa is that he's on even base count against the Zerg. Problem is, the Zerg player can be pretty cross-efficient with Dark Swarm and with Plague from this point. He wiped out the tank count entirely. Another plague. Science vessels catching spore hits and dying. Because... oh, that wasn't even plagued. Okay. Yep. So Effort's looking good, man. Looking fine here at 18 minutes. Science vessels getting chased. They're still faster than Hydras. Hydras have to stop to attack. But it's 144 to 140 supply. Not where you want to be if you're a turn player, especially against this Hydra meta. Oh my gosh, it's really good. Science vessel down. And we finally get... oh, we get the other science vessel. The fire bats and the Marines and the tanks eviscerate about 7 Hydras for that science vessel. But science vessel count low. Terran happy camper. And top right base coming in from aaaa. Now look. There is a small world here where this aaaa player can just out-expand the Zerg and kind of make some bad trades for a while, and it doesn't really matter. Lings, Lurkers, Hydras, charging in, burrowing up. But you know, once there are enough tanks, it just doesn't matter anymore. That's exactly what these tanks are doing. I mean, one lurker inside Dark Swarm is 99% of the time finished. It's fine. It's invulnerable at that point. Sometimes they're in a weird position inside the Dark Swarm, and the tanks are on the right side of the swarm. The tanks can kill it, but most of the time, no. So yeah, one tank in Dark Swarm, and Terran goes, Remember what I said about drops? I said either tanks or drops, or, you know, por qué no los dos? Nice plague on New Gettysburg Spaceport. Yeah, the Hydra's just parking inside the orange cloud. Another Dark Swarm would be nice. No, the tank's sieged up. Let's not waste the energy on a Dark Swarm there. Not with the tanks are sieged, but the plagues. Another base. This one's getting canceled by a Hydra. This one is not being canceled by a Hydra, but is it envisioned to a Mutalisk? No. Effort does not know about that base at all. Oh, a couple science vessels died. Oh, came back in. Another science vessel died to Hydra pings. Oh my gosh. All right, everyone. Firebat charges in. Not bad, not bad. So a lot of these dudes are plagued. Attacking into this base is going to be tough. There are lurkers. There are Sunkens at the top of the ramp. There could be a Dark Swarm at a moment's notice. Yeah, top right base gets canceled entirely because of the presence of a single Hydra and a lurker that has 9 kills. More lurkers running around, doing what they do. Hydra's... No, Ah's not paying attention to what's going on right here. He's going to lose everything. Ugh. 166 to 151 supply. Is up still, but he's kind of losing stuff unnecessarily. Lurkers of the third base. Disaster for This right side fifth base attempt by Effort is moderately defended. Needs a Dark Swarm more than anything else, but that is a lot of tanks. And I'm telling you, Hydra meta, you're like, how do I deal with these Hydras? Fire bats and tanks, man. Coming right on in, roasty toasty on those Hydras. This base is lifted. This base is in a lot of trouble, too. Sunken against fire bats is kind of incredible, obviously. Defiler dies. These are 3/3 fire bats with medic support. They're kind of incredible. Get it, fire bat. Get them. Overlord wanders in, dies immediately. 131 to 127 supply. Science vessels catching plagues. Other ones dying. Third base still dead. This base is alive. This 12 o'clock is looking pretty good too from and there's no sign of another base. It's 4. It's 4 now. Okay, hang on. 2, 3 lurkers managed to show up here. Where did they come from? Did they morph inside the Dark Swarm? Incredible hold there from Effort if that's the case. I thought that base was dead. He has proven me wrong. Cracklings, what upgrades do they have? 3-1? Fine, I guess. They have the Crackling, though, so, you know, they can live. Ooh. It's kind of the bare minimum requirements for a Zergling, I would say. Okay, so base stays alive, kills this. This is... Once again, I just think it's very vulnerable. It's just that the Zerg player doesn't know that it's there. Effort is not aware that command center is a thing at all. Ultralisk Cavern. A late-game Ultra transition, maybe. Here from Effort. It's like, maybe if we can convince him to stop making tanks. Oh, nice plague. We can get Ultras out. Okay, alright. Science vessels. Oh, 2 Hydras in exchange for, like, 3 Science vessels. This is scrappy, man, but it's 131 to 30 or 92 supply here, and Effort's ahead in overall supply by a lot. Workers are a big part of it. There's only 39 SCVs on the map right now. Free drone is free. Not sure what it's doing here. Probably a bad rally of some kind. Dark Swarm. There are no fire bats in here, but the splash of the siege tanks. Oh, that's so well executed, though. All right, Effort. Showing why he's one of the best Zerg players in the world here. Is he going to win the next ASL? Well, no, because Sulky exists. But, man, it looks like he's got a good handle on this game right now. Chasing these tanks back. Fire bat. Oh, okay, get the tank now. The Hydras can handle the fire bats and the smaller number of siege tanks, and the medics are pretty easy to kill too. Science vessels. 1 Scourge hit on combined for the 2 of them. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing in these bunkers! It's amazing how, you know, 4 Marines and 4 Marines would have probably saved the day here against these Hydras, and this base is getting denied too. And yeah, this is the end times now. Kindness plating's on the way, but I'm not sure Effort's going to need those Ultralisks for anything actually after all. The Muta's like, hey, you're supposed to be plagued. Why aren't you dying when I hit you with my 1 attack? And they're like, we haven't been plagued. What are you talking about? I've been plaguing science vessels. Where are they? They're already dead. It's over. 160 to 95 supply, another skin. As the Hydras that killed the 12 o'clock are here to kill the 3rd base as well. Yeah, it's over. So good game from aaaa. I mean, it's always good to see somebody putting up a fight. 25 minutes. I mean, how many of us could get to 25 minutes against Effort? The answer is none of us could do it. I don't care who's watching this. I mean, okay. None of the Korean pros are watching this, I guess is the point. Because they can, but yeah, good job. Never heard of this dude. But he's got this thing, you know, 26 minutes. He's continuing to rack up the time he stays alive against Effort. It's nice. 3 upgrades. Okay, he did manage to save the 9 o'clock. The 3rd and the 4th are gone. No Dark Swarm, no Plague means the Hydras don't want to really fight any number of dudes. Calling some on the backside. They counter in. They maybe head into the Natural. Oh my gosh, the Natural would be a good place for them to go. They have any upgrades? They got the +2 and 6 Ultralisks are in production. Dark Swarm, Plague. Oh, the combos are coming in hot right now. Dark Swarm, Plague. There it is. Dark Swarm, Plague. Dark Swarm, Plague. Ultralisk's going to join the party. Their speed upgrade is not quite done yet, but it should be done before they join what's going on in here in the middle of the map, which is a 170 supply of Effort versus 76 supply of aaaa. So yeah, tap the like button if you enjoyed that game. It was a pretty good back and forth, but there's the GG before the Ultras even show up. And Effort gets the win in 27 minutes, and here are the Ultras. They're on their way. They've got, you know, they've got the upgrade. They have the kindness plating. They've got the speed. They got a +2 attack. They're almost fully upgraded. That's good enough for this. And it was good enough for this. So yeah, this is Effort, who kind of expanded up the right side. Never went down here. Kind of expected him to go, but he just kind of expanded to the 6 o'clock, then the 9 o'clock, and the bases in between, and then up the right side he was going with a base in the top right here too. Shutting this base down was big for him. If aaaa gets this base, then it's a much, much more difficult game here for Effort. If this base stays alive too, then, you know, if this base doesn't take major hits at the same time. So, yeah, aaaa did a good job against the Muta opening, but, you know, the Hydra meta getting some work done. When that first group of tanks got wiped out without really doing a lot of damage, that's when I was really starting to worry about aaaa. So, anyway, good stuff. Like, really, really good stuff there from Effort, as always. Let's go ahead and see what's next, right? We'll end the mission here. We will see what the score is. 220,000, 187,000 Effort on top. He outproduced the Terran player. Got out killed, but again, not by as much. We got 11 structures raised by Effort and 3 by aaaa. And then the outspend by Effort in 27 minutes was pretty good. Pretty good. So good game, man. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're here for. That is how we do as Effort. And, you know, clean up a couple things there. Keep those tanks alive. Maybe defend that top right base. And aaaa could have kept that game going and maybe even won. So that's it. That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.